There are two sides to every story. So oftentimes when I'm watching a movie, I like to take a step back and view events as they're transpiring from the point of view of the villain. And we're often told by the protagonist of the story that this character is this horrible, evil monster, and that all they want is ruin and destruction. And we accept that. But sometimes when you view events from their point of view, you realize they deserve to be defended. They deserve their story to be told. And today, I want to do just that. Today, I want to explain how Randall Boggs from Monsters Incorporated is not the evil monster he's made out to be. Well, okay, he is literally a monster. But that doesn't make him evil.
Hey, may the best monster win.
When we are first introduced to Randall, he is shown to be a rival of sorts to Mike and Sully, the main characters. Randall takes his job very seriously. He strives for perfection and excellence. He is in fact striving for a record for the best scare numbers in the history of the monster world. And that puts him in direct conflict with Mike and Sully, who themselves are striving for this record. And the two of them are neck and neck. This shows that both Sully and Randall are pros at what they do. And there are big reasons why the monster world has the power that they do, because they have two champion scarers getting the screams that they need to power their city. The thing is, most of the monsters on the scare floor, when the day is done, they go home. They have set hours that they work, and they all take a lunch break, and they all go home as soon as the day ends. So this leads us to the first crime that Randall is accused of, and that is, quite simply, working overtime. Now, the monster world is currently dealing with an energy crisis. There's not enough screams to go around. Despite this, the scarers, they work a standard shift with a lunch break, and as soon as the end of the day hits, they immediately stop and they all go home. This company does not have any night shift. They don't have any extra hours employees. Randall is not getting paid extra to work extra. But what he's doing here, he's being accused of working extra hours and cheating.
Wait a minute, Randall, that cheater, he's trying to boost his numbers.
The thing is, this isn't just a contest between them. This is his job. His job is to get as many screams as he can. And if working extra hours gets him more screams, he's striving to do that. And as you'll see, that's kind of the theme throughout. Randall's entire role here is that he wants what's best for the monster world, and he's striving to do what he believes is right for the monster world, starting with putting in a little overtime. The thing is, we soon learn that he's not just trying to put in overtime. He is not striving for that record in the same way that Sully is. He's striving for something bigger. Randall doesn't just want to be the best scarer. He wants the company to succeed. He wants the monster world to be able to get out of this energy crisis. He wants people to be able to live their lives with the energy they need to power their cars, to power their homes, to live on. And that leads to the next thing that we find out. We find out that Randall isn't just working overtime. He has a bigger plan in action. He has developed a new machine that extracts screams from children. And so he kidnaps, or tries to kidnap, a child to power this machine. Now, that sounds horrible. It sounds absolutely horrible, and I don't want to defend someone for kidnapping. But let's take a look at what information Randall is working out of here. The entire monster world is convinced that human children are dangerous. Not just dangerous, deadly. That a single touch from a human child can kill you.
There's nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child.
They have entire groups of people whose entire life is dedicated towards destroying anything that might make it back into the monster world, to containing any potential contaminants. And this goes to show this is a widespread belief. They don't view little children, human children, as these cute, defenseless, innocent beings. They view them as dangerous. They view them as their only real source of energy. The comparison here is not monsters to humans as it would be humans to humans. This is more of if we found some dangerous creature, and that dangerous creature was the only thing that could supply us with the power we need to live. That's the comparison here. So Randall wasn't striving to kidnap a child. He was striving to kidnap a fuel source that he believes is a dangerous creature. What Randall was doing here was putting his life on the line to try and better the monster world. And from his point of view, that's all this was.
I bet it's just waiting for us to fall asleep. And then, we're easy prey, my friend. Easy prey, we're sitting targets.
Looking at the monster world as it is when we begin this movie, where these monsters are going into the human world to try and harvest screams, they're essentially in a hunter-gatherer type of society. They're having to go out and find children and take back the energy they need. They have a sprawling civilization that is fueled by these screams, and yet they're still having to go out and find the screams and bring them back. What Randall is trying to do here has happened throughout our history. This is the attempted move from a hunter-gatherer society to more of an agricultural farming type of society. He views the humans as just like cattle. They're just a source of fuel, and so he wants to get them and be able to better utilize that source of energy for the betterment of Monsters World. So if Randall is not this horrible being, this evil creature, then does that mean there's no villain in this movie? Well, there is. Mr. Waternoose is still the evil mastermind here. And Randall is nothing more than the tool Mr. Waternoose is trying to use to enact his evil plan. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, why does Randall get a pass and Mr. Waternoose does not? And the difference here is that Mr. Waternoose knows better. We can see when he does come into contact with Boo and he realizes that this is the child, he is not terrified like everyone else. In fact, he is told very quickly, kid's not toxic, and he immediately embraces it. He doesn't question it at all. This kind of hints that he already knew this. And when he goes and picks Boo up, it's not with hesitancy. It's not with fear. And it's done gently. Mr. Waternoose is well aware that this child is not dangerous. This child is not a threat to their lives. And not only that, he's aware that this child is weak and defenseless. He is gentle in moving this child around, despite his desire to use it as a fuel source, to trap it, to contain it. He is the one actively trying to kidnap a defenseless child, with knowledge of what that child is. Randall, on the other hand, is just being told by Mr. Waternoose what to do. He's being told how to set this up for the betterment of the company. But he's being kept in the dark as to what they are actually doing and what it really means morally in regards to what this child is. Randall is not innocent because of the actions he took, but he's somewhat innocent in that he didn't realize the extent of what he was doing. To him, this was a monster that he has to deal with to help his world, not a defenseless child. So in the end, Randall is nothing more than a misinformed employee trying to make the world a better place. So what do you think? Does that make sense? Do you think Randall should be given a pass because he thought this was just this dangerous creature? Or do you think he should have known better and does not get a pass because it's clearly a defenseless child? Let me know if you have any arguments for or against this case in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more of these theory videos, and as always, thank you for watching.